All right, so we are on Walking Dead Season 8. What episode was this, 6?
Yeah, because there's only 2 more left in the season, correct?
They go by so fast. The good times just
Yeah,
fly
you
by.
wait for it all summer long, and then it's just over in the blink of an eye.
I know. How are you feeling? You're back. You were out sick last week.
Yeah, I had an awful stomach bug. Well, stomach flu, really.
I was going to say, I thought it was the flu, which
Yeah.
is just going around. I hear I think you gave it to me because I was feeling, not quite on your level, but I wasn't feeling good last week. But
Yeah, it was crazy, man. Like Monday, I actually felt like I was getting a little better, and then Tuesday morning, that was like the worst of it. I mean, like fever of about 102. I was throwing up again. Yeah, it wasn't man. Just Thanksgiving sucked. That much I can tell you.
And you're telling, man,
I ate nothing but dry toast and crackers.
Oh man, well I'm glad that you look well. You look like you're. If anything, it helped you lose a couple of pounds. So
I really need to start getting the abs in now because I got a little of the belly fat gone. So
there you go.
Perfect time to sharpen up those abs.
Well, Matt not with us this week. He's actually out on vacation with the family. Lucky dog.
Okay.
Yeah, he's out. I think they're at Myrtle Beach.
Oh, yeah, that's his destination
beaches.
of choice, yeah.
Yep, one of my favorite beaches, so I'm sure he'll be listening. So, Matt, bring me back some seashells or Funko Pops, whichever. JP, what's your request?
What do they have down at Myrtle Beach? I guess like Confederate flags and boogie boards.
No. I mean, it is in South Carolina, so I'm not going to say you're not going to not see rebel flags. I love Myrtle Beach so much.
I was thinking of that episode of Eastbound and Down when he was at Myrtle Beach, and like the first shot is he's got the rebel flag with the big like pot leaf on it. It was something like that.
Yeah, no,
Eastbound and Down
see
was
those,
such a good show.
But good
old Kenny Powers.
Oh, I love Danny McBride.
Yeah.
So moving on to this episode, man, I really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was a good one.
Yeah.
A lot of people I'm seeing so many complaints this season about this show. How are you feeling about the season so far?
Oh man, it's been my favorite like kickoff to it's been my favorite season like for a while.
It's your favorite season for a while.
For a while, yeah. I think that maybe since Terminus, since like the start of that, where Carol blows up the compound and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. I think it's been off to a good start. This episode, I was here, I was there. It's a little scatterbrained. There was a lot going on, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was. We get to see Jadis doing art in the nude, which was
that
odd, right?
Yeah.
Like everybody's just hanging around, and it's just like I'm so sick of the way they talk, man. Like I get it. I get that they try to explain it as, they only use as many words as necessary, but it's just stupid.
Yeah, it's very stupid.
I mean, I'm sure that I'm sure I've got some of our listeners mixed up here, but I'm not going to even try to name names because then people get. Yeah, a lot of our listeners have said that listening to King Ezekiel talk in the King speech they find to be annoying, so they were probably happy this episode to see him just being completely real, no act, no king speak, nothing. He was just in the dumps and talking regular.
Maybe Jadis figured out that pronouns are what actually caused the zombie outbreak. It was those damn pronouns. Pronouns and adverbs.
Pronouns and the grammar Nazis. They just
who would have thought?
So man. But, so you come to and everybody's walking around. Jadis is doing her little art in the nude. And then here comes Rick walking up basically like, join us or we're going to kill you.
Yeah, I just, I don't know. I thought there were a lot of dummies in this episode. I think Rick was probably king of the dummies.
I think he's got a plan, though. I don't think that he was so stupid as to, I think it's going to work out, and we're going to see in the end that Rick knows best.
I mean, I definitely see what he's trying to do, like, build this greater world, this bigger picture, but I mean, you're not even done with the war. Like, I mean, you still got irons in the fire, dude. Why are you just, I
feel like whatever he's doing, he's got plans to get revenge on them. I don't think that I think he wants to use them to win the war, but I think that Rick's got plans of revenge. I just can't see Rick, just happily skipping right back up to the gate being like, help us or die. We'd really love to have you on Team Rick. Team Negan sucks. We have cookies and stuff on our side.
And now he's all naked.
Yeah, we had
some
Jadis
side butt.
We saw Jadis nude in the beginning, and now Rick's nude in the thing. Weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm trying to think. So we got to watch a guy get blown up with a bazooka.
Oh man, yeah, there was so much going on. Yeah,
that was my worry with talking about this episode, was that we're going to leave something out because so much happened this episode.
Yeah, I mean we
saw Mama Shone get into a little like sword fight, I guess, whatever that other girl was using.
Yeah, man, it was two sexy samurai, that's for sure. Man, that was some hot sword-on-sword action. Well, not that she was using, the other lady wasn't using a sword, but...
Looked like Michonne kind of had a little bit of like a run for her money there. I mean, this girl wasn't going down as some of her other opponents.
Remind me, is Michonne like, is she a little wounded right now? Is she, what's going on?
Well, you know, it doesn't show, but you could be right because that battle they had at Alexandria, I mean, that girl beat the crap out of her, you know, the one that she threw off the clock tower or whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
She was
kind of
messed
beat up
up,
from
like
that.
she won, but so she probably is recovering from that. Rosita's recovering from a gunshot. Rick got grazed. I mean, everybody, it's like in Alexandria, man, everybody's been shot at some point.
Yeah, they definitely had a rough time of it.
We've got the introduction of Sadiq.
Yeah, Sadiq. Carl was a big dummy number 2, that's for sure.
So this is JP's big dummy
list,
right?
Yeah, I mean, hey, let me help this weird guy living in the woods just kill zombies for, just for fun.
And almost got killed himself.
Yeah, I mean, how stupid was that? Like, dude, just... Why don't we go to my nice little compound and, you can maybe kill some zombies later? I don't know.
Kill people in their sleep. I don't know you. Whatever you want to do in your own time.
Just releasing their souls. Give me a break, man.
Yeah. I thought they did a really good job on that scene, though, where Carl was on the ground. That was really intense.
It was
and
very
say that
intense.
because, you just expected the very typical, this guy is going to come and knife the zombie in the head. But he didn't. Every time he would go to stop a zombie marching towards Carl, another one would be crawling up. And I was like, dude, Carl's gone. This is the moment. So they did a really good job on that.
Yeah, when it comes to mass killing zombies, Sadiq is no Morgan. That much is for sure.
No. No Morgan.
No.
And speaking of Morgan, we're not going to discuss it at the moment, but we will keep it in our back pocket. We're going to talk about the Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead crossover and give you some input and see what you guys think about this startling announcement. Some people very happy, some people not so happy. But hey, if you're a Morgan fan, the one positive to this, at least you will get to see him go on past when he probably dies this season. So
yeah.
I like Lenny James a lot as an actor. I think he's awesome. So at least he's still going to be connected to the series. But I'll talk about that more at the end because I could go on a while about it. I'm sure you've got a lot to say about it too, and I definitely want to hear
not so much. No. It's going to be fun. It's going to be. I love a good crossover. A good crossover. There are some
not just a crossover. A good crossover.
Yeah.
So let's see. So we got Sadiq and Carl, or Carl more so. Sadiq was fine the whole time, but Carl almost dying to bring Sadiq into the fold. Now he's based off of one of the ones that was on the boat with Michonne, right, in the comics. Because he's the one now that professed to, spoilers, if you're not caught up to the comic book, I'm just sorry. We ruined it for you. This will take 20 seconds. He's the one that Rosita was having relations with in the comics, right? And he confessed to Eugene.
That's
Sadiq,
I'm pretty sure you're right about that.
So a little bit different in person than his character than his comic book, but because his comic book, I'm pretty sure he was like a burly guy, But
I think everyone's a little bit burlier in the comic. It seems
right.
Yeah, Negan's burlier. Jesus. Yeah.
If anything, Rick is a little more athletically built in the show than the comics. He's like the only one that did the opposite because he gets cracked on quite a bit in the comics for being so thin, and like the smallest guy in the group. No. Which, but so Sadiq's entering the fold. I like the guy playing him, though. I mean, I could see him becoming, he's a likable actor, likable guy. So I could see him if they write him right, because that's the thing. There's been lots of likable people and characters with potential on the show, but due to just kind of subpar writing, they don't really get their chance to be, liked. But just like, is it David? Is that Sasha's husband in real life? Is that the guy's name on the show, David? I think his name's David. We saw him this episode, but only for a few minutes. He was rolling back to Alexandria. Who was he with? Rosita? Anyways, like him, we've seen him a lot, but they've yet to have him, give him just a little moment for us to start saying, "Hey, what about this guy? We like him. Let's." So Sadiq's joining in, and the way I watched a little bit of The Talking Dead just to see who the crossover was going to be, and it seems like Sadiq's going to be. He keeps talking about as we were filming, so I think he's going to become a much bigger part of the show. So new cast member, so that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Let's see what else happened this episode. Daryl. Go for it.
Well, no, I was gonna say, we brought up Jesus. He's doing his Jesus thing, trying to feed the masses. What is he giving them, turnips?
Yeah, that'd have been like, dude, come on, man, just give me like a biscuit. Man.
Yeah, no wonder that one guy just kind of threw it back at him. I'd be like, man, what am I gonna do with this turnip? Did you even boil them? I mean, what do you do with turnips, by the way?
This dude, he didn't throw it down being an asshole like we thought. He was just like, I don't like turnips.
Yeah, turnip. What are you doing?
But yeah, I mean, that's a lot of people to feed. But what I do like, because I cannot stand that long-haired guy. He does such a good job of playing like a smug asshole. You just want to punch him right in his little smug face. But I do like that we've got a guy on the inside that straight up is, because you always think with this guy, like, this guy's an idiot. Like, he just, and then you've got one guy in there that's smart and realizes, hey, they're at the point where they're trying to show mercy. This could save our lives. Let's not do anything stupid. Because, I mean, what's he sitting there trying to cut his wristband, what was binding his wrist with like a little piece of wood, and the guy just like sort of slams him into the side, and it's like, stop.
Yeah, that man, what Maggie should have done when you've got a hostage situation like that,
oh God,
you got to make an example out of one person. As soon as that guy stepped out of line and she was pinning him up, she should have pulled him out and put one in his noggin.
I don't know about the whole, I'm not going to go into the whole hostage situation thing. It's not a situation.
You got to make an example out of one person.
I don't want to imagine myself being the guy that has hostages, but with that said, when you've got prisoners
of war.
You've never had hostages? Not this week.
Oh,
but when you've got prisoners of war, I mean, this guy straight up tried to go for your gun and kill you.
Yeah.
So at this point, I would have pulled him out, absolutely put him down, and been like, "This is what happens, man. Most of the people here don't even want you alive right now.
Yeah."
That's what's going to happen. So you want to live, you play ball. You try stupid shit like this guy did, and that's where you're going to end up. So, yeah, I agree with that's kind of like a Game of Thrones thing, man.
Very much so,
just put him up on the wall and be like, this is what happens. We don't want to be giving you our nasty old turnips, but if we're going to do that, the least you can do is not try to steal my gun when I turn around and kill me.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's not how you handle a prisoner of war situation. First of all, you separate the sexier of the prisoners from like the uggos.
Right.
The uggos
Naturally.
are more for just like food starts deplenishing over the winter. That you start
terminus them. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, I hate to go all Donner Party on you, but a little cannibalism under these circumstances is understandable. And like I say, you save the sexier prisoner. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying we have sex slaves,
all dudes?
but what? I mean,
nothing. If that's what you're into, but I'm just saying. I thought you were more to the females, and I think that
now
was.
Look, I'm speaking from Maggie's perspective.
Oh, okay. Clearly.
But again, in the dead of winter, you do what you got to do. I mean, a warm body's a warm body. Am I right?
I feel like we're getting into something here that you need to speak with someone.
Yeah, well, that's another podcast.
I've got a friend that's a therapist. I could hook you up with her if you want.
Hook me up. You think I'd be her type?
Nope. She'll talk about your problems.
Oh, well, that's like every other girlfriend I've ever had anyway. So,
yeah, and that brings up the point. How do you feel about Maggie as a leader? I mean, in the comics, she does a great job, but how do you feel about show Maggie being a leader?
Oh man, well, it says it all at the end of the episode. I mean, she tells Jesus, "Look, these people are bargaining chips. They're either going to serve their purpose, and we use them as leverage, or." Baby, they're going to go. One way or the other. We're not feeding these suckers all winter.
I do like that. Like I've heard a few people say that they didn't think Maggie was a good leader. They didn't. But I mean, one, she's just kind of getting into that role. Yeah. So I mean, it's new. You've been since season 2 with Maggie, and you've seen her as more of like a supporting character. So I don't think it's that she's a bad leader at all. I think she could be a great leader. I think it's just for some people, it's just odd seeing the transition from being, not a backup character, but kind of like following Rick's lead to actually putting out the orders herself. I mean, I enjoy seeing Maggie. Like you said, the end of that episode was where it really did it for me, which, Jesus is like, I want to thank you for doing I think you're doing the right thing. And she's like, look, we're not doing this for charity. I'm not keeping them alive because I'm doing this because I'm hoping I can get some of our people back. So, I mean, I love that. We see, wow, Maggie's really kind of, ready to move on from The Walking Dead to Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and well, she should. Jesus, he's just he's too soft-hearted, man.
How many more characters are going to go through the same BS trend? The thing, though. You know what I'm saying? We see, almost every, and I guess it could be argued that every character has to go through it at some point, but at this point in the apocalypse, I mean, like, shouldn't you have already had your revelations that sometimes you just can't let people live in these situations?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I understand what Jesus' deal is, and humans are kind of like an endangered species at this point. But
do we really want to be killing off the last? It's like if tigers were extinct, would they just be killing each other off? Which the answer is probably yes, because they're savage species. But
yeah,
I agree. I can get what he's saying, but I mean, it's like, dude, these people want to kill you. Like, especially that long-haired douche. If he gets out, he's gonna kill someone in their sleep, and it's like, I'd just be like, we got to get rid of him.
I mean, what is Jesus gonna do? Like, come February, when he's watching like little kids in his own compound starve to death,
right? He's gonna probably feed them the other prisoners.
Yeah, that's when the cannibalism comes in.
So yeah, that would be a tough situation, especially when you have some prisoners that you see playing ball. They want to live. They probably aren't bad people. They just are on the wrong side. And it is, a lot of people will like drop down to the comment section and be like, I'd kill them, no questions asked, right? And it's like, yeah, but if you found yourself in that situation, man, it cannot be an easy place to be. Like, do I kill all of these people? Do I? You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where it's like you really can kind of see all sides here. I see Maggie's point of view. I see Jesus's point of view. I even see the Savior's point of view of like, hey, we're going to get out of here and kill everybody and report back to Negan.
Yeah. I mean, I never would have taken him prisoner in the first place. I mean,
you just mowed him down.
Yeah.
I just get tired in this show of the people that clearly have someone that they should kill, and then they just kill somebody else. When Morgan was chasing them down through the woods before that epic and amazing fight with Jesus, and he shot like those 2 or 3 saviors, why didn't he? I mean, like, he had clear shots, and they were all like, oh, he should have shot the long-haired douche. They're just saving him because I'm sure he's going to play a role later, and he's going to kill someone or something. And now Gregory is in the pig pen.
Yeah, he's in the pig pen himself.
I really hope they stick to how that plays out in the comic, like in the show. I want to see that. You know what I mean?
Well, at first, that's what I thought was going to happen. Like, I thought that little pin was like gallows she had built.
Right.
And I thought Gregory was going to be the first one dangling, but it wasn't, of course.
I think the nail in the coffin is going to be. I mean, I think he'll try to. He'll. I don't know. I think that if they find out about Father Gabriel, because he's just like, oh, I found his car. I don't know where he was. They find that out. I think that's going to just be one more, step towards him being in the gallows.
But did you notice some kind of sideways looks from the Hilltop folk as they were, throwing Gregory in the pen with him? Mm-hmm. There were definitely some people who were like, what?
What Rick's group and them, they come into civilizations and just tear them and just flip them upside down, man. The Hilltop, the Kingdom, and all these organizations, which were living in tyranny, no doubt, but were all alive and getting along.
A lot of these people at the Hilltop weren't there to see Gregory, like, kowtowing to Negan, telling everybody either, bow to Negan or you don't have a place to live. So a lot of them, aren't experiencing it on the front line,
So, So what they're seeing is just a new leader basically getting rid of their old leader, like, wow, are we being taken over here or what? So, I mean, that could lead to some trouble later in the Hilltop. Civil War, maybe.
Some dissension in the ranks.
We'll see. So let's see what else happens. So we've got Daryl and Tara have basically laid it out there that they are going to kill Dwight as soon as this thing ends. It looks like they're on the way. We've got Michonne, Daryl, Tara, and Rosita. Looks like they're on the way to defy Rick's plan.
So
looks like they're going to go follow Team Daryl.
Kind of stupid. Everybody's got to stay on the same page, You know
what my family, some families argue politics on Thanksgiving. Some order, like they argue religion. Some, it just depends on.
Flat Earth theory.
Right, no doubt. Right. Your family, Thanksgiving. You know what my family's only argument, like full on, everyone in the house was in on the argument, was this Thanksgiving?
What was it?
Was who would really win in a fight between Daryl and Rick.
Oh, boy.
And basically every guy in the house was Team Rick. I was like, look, Daryl was like a disobedient child. Rick saw that. I don't think for a second Rick was full on trying to outmuscle Daryl. I think he was trying to subdue Daryl, who was attacking him, because we know how brutal Rick is in a fist fight. I mean, he usually comes out on top. Yes, the governor may have beat him, but he'd also been, shot in the leg before he started fighting the governor? So he had a slight handicap there.
Yeah, and Rick's got that police training, too.
Right, so right. Rick's used to, full Nelsons and, someone.
like subduing people.
So that was the argument, but every girl in the house was like, there's no way Daryl was winning. Daryl would have, that's terrible impressions. No girl in my family sounds that way, but... Every girl was Team Daryl, every guy was Team Rick. And I still stand firm that Rick basically was just handling it the way you handle like a drunk friend who's taking swings at you. I mean, you might fight them back a little bit, but more or less you're just trying to end it and be done with it. You don't truly want to hurt them.
No.
Whereas I think Daryl didn't want to kill Rick, but Daryl definitely wanted to hurt Rick. He wanted to prove a point, you know what I mean? He didn't just punch him and walk off. So what do you think? Team Daryl, Team Rick? Who would have won that fist fight?
I mean, Daryl is really scrappy.
I just say the way Rick hung. I think the way Rick hung with Shane, because I still think as far as scrapping, man, Shane was probably the scrappiest that bunch has ever had. As far as just like, oh man, I loved Shane so much. I mean, he was a crappy guy in the show, but I just loved having him on screen. The dynamic of him and Rick was awesome. But I mean, Rick hung in there with Shane really well. I mean, you know, I think. I think Shane would have beat Daryl. Like, you go back and watch season 2, and Shane and Daryl almost get into it, and you can definitely see far more alpha male in Shane than you see Daryl. Because yes, Daryl's all scrappy, but I mean, you can truly watch, and it's just a great example of how good these actors are. Shane definitely has that alpha male schoolyard bully of, oh, what's that? Would you say? And Daryl, the guy that had been running his mouth from across the thing, was still willing to fight, but definitely looked a little shook up, like, oh, shit, is this about to happen?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So because of that, I'm going to go with Rick, because Rick, you know, hung in there with Shane pretty well until the motorcycle thing. So, you know, I think Rick, I don't know, because Daryl is a savage, too. I mean, I don't put it past Daryl to bite someone's throat out.
Yeah, totally. I mean, he'd probably just do it for the delicious flavor. I don't know.
This is better than dog food.
Yeah. It was nice and warm.
So, yeah, you think Daryl possibly?
Man, I mean,
it is tough, right? Like, it's a tough fight.
I don't have the conviction to go 100% one or the other.
I'm going with Rick. However, someone who says Daryl, I won't argue you too hard, because that would be a very close fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You've got a skilled, awesome fighter versus, like, the scrappiest dude in the group now.
Yeah. I mean, Daryl's kind of like a Wolverine type, you know? I mean, he's not as skilled as, like, a Captain America, but he's just, you know, he's got that bestiality. It's not bestiality.
Bestiality.
Yeah, never mind.
I don't know. I mean, Daryl.
Yeah,
I mean, put that past Daryl either, though. So,
but I don't think that's a fighting technique, is it? No.
It depends on who you're fighting.
Yeah, there probably is some fighting right before you put it. Well.
All right, moving on past the animal-human love sex talk that we're having here. Let me think. What else is there? What else have we? I'm sure there's something else we've missed. Let's see. Kind of running through this episode.
Carol and that little kid in the woods.
What is up with Carol? Just does not get along with kids, does she?
No, it doesn't seem so. She had that little, you know, callback to her daughter dying in season 2, but yeah, I thought I was just like, can we please just skip this?
Right, we know Carol hates kids, but that kid's she's gonna get attached to this kid, whatever. But you know, here's a cool fact: that boy is did you watch Talking Dead? That boy is the little brother of the girl that played Sophia.
No, I didn't know that. Wow.
Yep. Melissa, is it Melissa
McBride?
I think I want to say McCarthy, but I know that's the chick in the movies. No, Melissa McBride doesn't seem to be too fond of kids, though. Like, listening to her behind the scenes talking about it. So Carol plays that really well, just to kind of, I don't want to be around kids.
Yeah.
Do you think it's because after losing Sophia, basically she figured that was the part of her that was weak, like having to stop and kind of stand back and be a mom kind of made her less of a warrior. So now that her child's gone, it's not like she's happy about it, but she wants to just be done with kids and focus on being a warrior badass.
Well, I mean that, and I think she realizes that tough love is the only thing that's going to keep kids alive.
Right.
You know, you mollycoddle them, they're going to get, bad things are going to happen.
She tells them like it is. There's monsters out there that want to eat you, and if you don't, if you do come back, you're going to be a monster. I mean, telling them like it is.
Which, I mean, her tough love didn't work very well for, what was his name, Sam, the kid that pissed his pants.
Her tough love hasn't worked well for anyone. It didn't work well for Sam. It didn't work well for, what were those two little girls?
The ones they had to put down.
Yeah.
Look at the flowers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So Carol and kids just does not work out. I mean, we had Sophia, we had Sam, then we had those two girls, and then now we've got this little boy.
Jeez, I had never connected those dots before. You're right.
Yeah, so Carol and Kit's track records don't work. Do you think that Carol's going to die this season?
I could see it happening. I was actually thinking about that as I was watching the episode.
Do you think maybe her death will be what gets King Ezekiel back into the game? Like her words to him because he didn't, the little pep talk she gave him didn't work. He's just like, I can't, I can't do this. Do you think maybe her death is what will put him back in that chair to kind of honor her memory and what she had said?
That's probably what's going to happen mid-season finale.
Oh, wow. And that's only 2 episodes away, man.
Yeah, how crazy is that?
Let's see what other parts. So, man, I love Jerry, the guy that's standing guard with the axe. I really hope, because characters like him don't make it long, man. Like, I love this guy. I really want them to keep him in here. He's funny. He's a good actor. Like, I really like this guy. So please, let's not kill him just because let's give him time to grow at least a season or 2.
Yeah, he found another axe. That was pretty cool.
What's the odds of that in the apocalypse? Like, you find another axe identical to the axe that you broke.
Oh, maybe he had a nice little collection going. Maybe he found one of those stores with all the medieval weapons and stuff.
Yeah, and we know he's dangerous with that axe.
I mean, think about it. Like the comic shop next door to the station. I mean, if we raided that, we'd have a few cool like axes and swords.
Are you saying that we're going to go raid the comic shop?
Yes.
Or only one? All right, well, we got to go. We got comic shop to raid. As long as I can get some variant covers of Doomsday Clock.
Yeah.
Then
some cool throwing
You're
stars.
you, man. Because when I was in there, I told Jenny, I was like, man, I want that variant of Doomsday Clock, but I don't think I'm going to get it. And she's like, well, you need to make up your mind. There's only one. And I was like, I don't want it. And then I left, and then you said something about wanting it. And then because you wanted it, now I want it. And
I got all 3 covers. There's still one more I need to get, though, the black and white variant.
Are you going to get all variants for every cover? Because, oh, my God, you're going to spend a lot of money with this 12-part series.
Well, there were 4 on this one. I actually just, I showed you, I ordered that lithograph, the little mini poster thing. Yeah. Pretty cool in the pin.
So comic fans, if you do read other comics, make sure you keep watching our channel. Tomorrow, I think we're going to try and talk about Doomsday Clock, which is, a DC title. It's a really big deal in the comic book world right now. So we're going to discuss that.
Yeah, some people love it. Some people think it's sacrilege. It's heresy.
Right, to just touch a bring back, just to go in there ruffling around a masterpiece and just instead of letting it die gracefully. Yeah, so we'll talk more about that. So comic fans, make sure you hit that subscribe button and you can hear us talk about way more than The Walking Dead. We actually have a lot of things coming up. We're thinking about doing some game commentating. We're thinking about maybe starting to do a little segment because there's a lot of haunted places in our area, supposedly.
Yeah, a lot of abandoned buildings, that's for sure.
Yeah, so we're planning on doing some exploring with that, maybe some actual so there's a lot of things we want to do. So just make sure you hit that subscribe button for lots of content coming up in the new year. We're trying to really grow this channel because
now, by haunted, do you mean turned into crack dens? Because that happens to be a lot.
Yeah, some of them there may be ghosts. Yes. Some of them there may be drug lords. I mean, there's a hint of danger everywhere we go.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Haunted by something for sure.
Right, something is there trying to keep people out of that building.
Whether it's a specter or a meth head,
right.
Something's in there.
So hit that subscribe button. But back to the episode. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we left out. I think we've covered it pretty well. I always tell myself, last season I did this, and I just haven't had a chance this season. But I used to type as I watched it and would type everything I was thinking as it went through, and then that way I could kind of keep a flow of the episode. Let's see. So Michonne had to go see the...
what's up with that? She said, I got to go see the sanctuary.
I wonder if she's worried about Rick. You think that's what it is?
I don't know. She was just very specifically needed to go see the sanctuary.
Yeah. Let's see, and Rosita, which we didn't see them too much the first few episodes because they were filming. Rosita had a baby, and and I wouldn't have known this if I hadn't read that. But I mean, after looking, I was like, okay, she's looking good to have just had a baby, man. And Michonne was actually filming Black Panther, so it's good to have her back in. Yeah, I am too. But let's see. So we went through that. We got to hear Aaron talk about Eric, how, him and Maggie now definitely able to relate to, losing a significant other. Of course, they lost him in very different ways. Eric got to die peacefully against a tree, holding his wound and saying some few last words to Aaron, while Glenn's last words were... I'm not going to even do it, but so
that was some more.
I wanted to have a pissing contest to Maggie, be like, "Oh yeah, your boyfriend was shot, got to say his final words to you, and died pretty piece. Oh, that must be nice.
Yeah, that whole thing with him and Maggie was some more sentimental claptrap. I could have kind of maybe not done without entirely, but just, I don't know, keep it brief, just kind of in passing, just a wink and a nod.
Right.
It's kind of like Carl said something out in the woods to Sadiq. He was like, sometimes kids have to find their own way to show their parents the way. I was just like, give me a break, dude. Who talks like that? Who says stuff like that?
16-year-old kids aren't thinking like that. Little 16-year-old kids are like, dude, since I saved you, you got any pot?
yeah, for real.
Nobody in Alexandria does, so I was figuring maybe you did. You're out here by yourself.
I mean, you should have been. I would have been like, yeah, my dad's kind of a dick. Don't mind him,
Go on, get out of here. He's gonna come back. Carl, who'd you bring in here again? You bringing back stragglers again?
Should have just been like, dude, I'm sorry, but your mom was kind of stupid for thinking that, zombies still have souls, and my dad's kind of a dick sometimes too, so we have that in common. So let's just go back. I've actually got like an Xbox 360 at Alexandria. We can chill.
Parents are the worst.
Yeah.
He's like sneaking them in through the window and then just sitting there like kicking their feet, playing some Call of Duty.
Oh. Lord,
but yeah, I could feel you on that. I mean, I get with Aaron, they've got to show some kind of though. I mean, because Aaron can't just skip a beat and just be like, "Oh yeah, I was with Eric," but that Jesus guy, man, he looking good.
Yeah,
like what's up with that? Like they got to give it a little time. I mean, Aaron and Eric were in love, so they have to move past that. But yeah, I agree. I mean, like the whole Carl thing. Say who talks like that? But they are setting up for I've seen a lot of rumors that Carl will die.
I've heard you mention
mid-season finale. I've seen some say for the season finale, but that Sadiq, is like, gonna, I don't know, like that whole my mercy will prevail over my wrath or whatever, and Carl's kind of taking a peaceful route now, and I don't know, a lot of the things that I have heard supporting this theory, I'm seeing kind of unfold on the screen. Oh. I mean, Carl's like, sometimes the kids have to show their parents the way, and like maybe Carl will pick a peaceful route, which will influence Rick. I always thought Morgan's death would be the one to influence Rick to imprison Negan rather than kill him when he had the chance. But maybe it'll be Carl, and maybe Carl will die, and that will, I don't know.
Yeah, a little foreshadowing.
Maybe Negan will mourn over Carl's death. Because I think Jeffrey Dean Morgan or someone behind the scenes had said that, yes, in the heat of the moment and because he was furious, Negan was straight up going to kill Carl. Yeah. But, like, Negan did not want to kill Carl at all. Like, Negan does like Carl. Like, that's been established. He's was going to do it just because he was furious at Rick, but it's something that Negan would have probably regretted. So maybe Negan will, like, mourn over Carl, and that'll... I don't know, man. It's exciting to see where this is going to go.
Yeah, like I said, it's definitely been the best season for a while in my
Even
book.
Though they have some of the lowest ratings they've ever had.
Well, I mean, it's just burnout. Just
it is. It's longevity.
Fatigue. I mean, people get burnt out.
If you are burned out and you want a new series to check out, might I recommend The Punisher on Netflix?
Oh, yeah. I've got like 2 episodes to go.
Me too. I love it, man. Love it, love it, love it. So if you're looking for something else, that's something that probably once Matt gets back, we'll podcast. It'll be a little bit late, so I'm sure it'll be a little past due.
I wonder if he's watched it yet. I don't think he's even watched Stranger Things 2 yet.
No, he hasn't watched that. I think he's almost done with The Punisher.
Yeah, he's a busy guy.
But The Punisher is awesome. But anyways, yeah, that's what I've told people. I'm like, I don't think it's so much that it's getting bad as it's just, I mean, it's going on 8 seasons, getting ready to move to the 9th after this. So, I mean, that's a long time for a show, or some very famous and iconic shows didn't go near that long.
That's true.
So, I mean, it's easy to just get burnt out. I mean, there's only but so many different things they can do before you're either complaining that they're rehashing old themes or reusing. I understand, but I'm still enjoying it.
Yeah, same here.
I'll watch it as long as it's on. I mean, I have my beef with it, no doubt, but
it's far from a perfect show.
No, yeah, no doubt. But I mean, I enjoy it. With that said, I mean, and even though it's got low ratings, it's still king of cable. I mean, so it's still a titan. So before we head to the comment section and wrap this thing up, is there anything we left out of that episode, do you think?
I think we glazed it pretty well.
Glazed it pretty well. Yep. Pretty good way to put that. Let me think really quick. Is there anything else that we missed? We talked about Gregory. We talked about Maggie. I think we're good. I think so. If we left anything out, please drop it in the comment section, and we will make sure to cover it next podcast.
Yes.
Speaking, was that Sean Connery?
Yeah, I just had a frog in my throat.
Gosh. Shut down. All right, so we're going to go to the comments section. You just want me to read these, or you got your
I don't
phone?
have here. I can pull something up.
pull
Here, you
something
get
up.
to read, and then I'll get to pulling it out.
Savage Rick says, I'm curious to find out the history behind Simon and Negan's weird relationship. First, they seemed like best buds. Now it seems like they used to not get along, and Negan set him straight. It seems like Simon is a lot quicker to kill you than Negan. Yes, I have heard speculation that perhaps Simon was the leader of the sanctuary, or of that group of maybe before they were the saviors, and Negan had to come in and basically dethrone him and make him his right-hand man, which is, people could say that's degrading, but it's a lot better than what happens when a new leader takes over a group than other ways. I mean, usually just execute the leader there. So I have heard a lot of people talking about that theory. I think it's pretty awesome. I would love to see that actually get used by the writers. I'll do the next one, and then you can take the next two.
Okay.
Well, actually three, because the one after that's pretty short. Jeep says, do you think Daryl is in love with Rick? I swear after they had that fight and Daryl pulled up next to Rick on the motorcycle, he had that pissed-off girlfriend look on his face. I totally think Daryl's in love with Rick. She says, I'm thinking Gabriel maybe got cut or scratched somehow. Did Negan maybe cut him when he punched him? It's a possibility. And the Walker guts could have got into it and infected him. That's pretty creative way to think about it. Definitely could have been. I don't usually think the writers go that in detail, though. So I don't know. It definitely could be, though. I'm not going to cancel it out. And the Walker guts got into it and infected him. I think that maybe he might get the Holly death, but he will bite Morgan. If the scavengers have a helicopter, why didn't they use it at Alexandria, which we now see? I guess they don't have a helicopter. I was mostly just giving you shit about the zombie animal thing, Matt. So do you want to speak for Matt, being he's not here to defend himself? Just hang tight. I'm going to read this, and then you get to speak as Matt. Even though I still think zombie squirrels could be cool, LOL. And anyway, I don't have time in my day to go looking back at old podcasts, and hell, I live at the beach. Lucky. And haven't had time to go to it in 30 years, LOL. Hope you enjoyed it anyway. Who knows, though? Maybe when they run out of ideas for villains, they could go that route. Okay, so defend yourself as Matt. Go. Not really defend yourself, but you know what I'm saying.
So he was talking about reanimated.
Yeah, like it would be awesome to see a zombie tiger mutant beast. And she was saying when she suggested zombie squirrels, Matt scoffed at it like it was stupid. And Matt challenged her to pull up the old podcast where he said that. But as she said, who has time for all that? So you're Matt. Go.
Oh, well, I'm Matt. And while it is true that I'm not nearly as good looking as JP, and I'm not sure where I'm going with this.
Or Justin.
Oh, yeah, of course. Oh, jeez, I don't even know. What would Matt say? I
know what Matt would do. He'd read the next comment.
Okay, you're right. It's hard to get in his head. I don't
know that I want to be in his head.
Yeah. Okay, what do we, let's see. You left off pissed off girlfriend. The next one says love Sting. Elisa Jett. Did I skip one?
No, you're good.
Okay.
Just move. You can do the next two after that.
Or was that from a thread coming off of that comment? Who knows? Not important. Elisa Jett says, Elisa Jett. It's Elisa. I forget. I'm sorry.
It is. I say Eliza, I think.
Yeah. Hey, guys. Michonne Grimes and Jeep. I hope JP is feeling better. And I also think he is by far the best looking person on the podcast. I sure wish I could get an autographed headshot. I'll read that part of the comment later. Off.
I'm gonna get my eyes checked. I'm just not seeing that part.
No, it's there. It's there. Yeah.
Totally.
Okay, I liked the last two episodes. Other than Shiva, I really thought that was bogus. Anyways, I liked how they did the Negan and Father Gabriel scene. I also agree. That was an awesome scene. Likewise. I don't think Father Gabriel will take a Holly scene. I feel that like that was done already, talking about Fear the Walking Dead.
No. Well, yeah, you're right. And kind of the Sasha thing was kind of like a Holly thing,
yeah.
But yeah, you're right. They already did the bag over the head zombie thing on Fear the Walking Dead. Continue. I'm sorry.
Okay. I also think Eugene is going to do his comic story with the Doctor and Gabriel. Will be a part of that. I heard another theory as to Simon being the one who killed all the men at Oceanside, even though they said it was Negan. After all, they are all Negan. They might think that Simon is Negan. Very good point.
Yeah, I definitely have wondered if Negan was aware that like they killed all the men at Oceanside and that they beat a 16-year-old. But which did they say? They said Negan did that himself. So no. But yeah, I've wondered if Negan was overseeing all of these, crazy deaths, or if there was some things going on that he wouldn't approve of.
That's true. Ooh, we have a commenter called the Gigafliga. That's fun. And it just simply says, you guys deserve more subs, man. Can't argue with
that. The Gigafliga, I agree.
More subs,
I appreciate the hell out of it.
Like more submissives, like we're running a sex dungeon.
No, JP, no? Talking about subscribers.
I've been recommending that for a while. A sex dungeon. We've got a perfect basement for it.
I've told you like 6 times I don't go for stuff like that.
All right, whatever.
I mean, it would make work very awkward.
I've got all the chains and whips in the car though. Anyway,
I'm good. I'm good. You're not my type. You're a dude. Let's see. To which the Gigafliga, you know what? I think that everyone that comments should create a new account, right? And then what they should do is make their name as difficult to pronounce as possible, and then JP try to say these, because it's so fun listening to you say some of these names. Yes,
pronunciation has often been a foe of mine.
So here we go. I'm going to do Michonne Grimes, and there's a little thread there.
I love seeing people interacting on here.
Let's see. Let's see. All right, so Michonne says, does it worry you guys that The Walking Dead hasn't been renewed yet for Season 8? They usually announce it by now. Have a great week, guys. We hope that you have had it. Well, being that was in the past, we hope you had a great week. Robbie Rotten says, I think they're trying to keep it quiet because next season will most likely be the Whisperer season. No pun intended. I think we're going to see lots of classic horror Walking Dead, and they want to surprise us with it. Michonne replies, Robbie Rotten, I hope you're right. I hear Jadis will be almost naked next episode. Yuck. Oh, she was. But so was Rick. So I guess if you found Jadis to be yuck, at least, ladies, you had Rick.
Yeah.
Elisa Jets says, LOL, and then says, I really hope the show improves the underwhelming storyline of the comics Whisperers that seemed to really fall flat in the comics. Did you think so, or did you enjoy the...
I like the Whisperer storyline. I mean, I guess people wanted a bigger kind of explosive ending, but I mean, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I liked, the showdown between Beta and Negan, but I mean, I understand where someone would think it would be underwhelming.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily agree.
All right, and take it over with Michonne Grimes. You get her next too.
Okay.
Which are addressed to you and Matt.
After the thread, right. Hey, guys. As always, love the podcast. Gassed. What else? Anyway, I want to know how the hell did Rick ever pass gun training to become a sheriff? The man can't hit anything. Hope JP gets well soon. We miss you, JP. Well, thank you so much, Michonne. I'm feeling much better, and I'm feeling good. Hey, Matt. Here, next comment.
Yes.
Okay. If there really is a plan between Rick and Screw Gene. Oh, that's good. LOL. I will send you guys my homemade banana bread. If not...
Did you just do that anyways?
Yeah.
I love banana bread.
If not, what do I get if you're wrong? Gauntlet thrown. LOL.
Shots fired. How's this going to play out? So, yeah, okay. All right, let's see. And the Rick thing, he hits stuff when it's convenient to the plot.
Yeah, so it seems.
Rick seems to be a lot better shot close up. You know what I mean? Like Rick's, because I mean, at the beginning, that was kind of one of his selling points, was that he was a good shot. Remember, he was running down the streets of Atlanta, hitting everything.
Yep.
Let's see. So, WYZZYWIG says, JP, get well soon. You got a lot of well wishes, a lot of nice listeners out there.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand the character Eugene at first. I think he has a plan for revenge against the Saviors. As far as Father Gabriel, nah, I'm not a fan, and unintentionally zone out during... Wait a minute, whoops, I'm sorry, my phone did not open. Zone out during his scenes. If y'all do Stranger Things, it may influence me to watch it. It's set in the 80s. I guess it shouldn't matter, but I hated the 80s. Oh, no. Well, I mean, that was an interesting decade for sure, but Stranger Things is awesome. We've definitely thrown it around. I'll see if Matt wants to watch it, and if he does, we'll all three do it. And if not, maybe JP and I will just
I mean,
discuss
we could definitely
it.
just do a nice little recap. I mean, it's been, out there for a while now.
Yeah. And you've got the next two.
Okie dokie.
Got a lot of comments.
This from Miss Bubs for fun. What if Carl gets bitten by Father Gabriel, and that is the reason why Michonne is looking for Rick in episode 6? Okay, that sounds really far-fetched. Never mind. LOL.
Well, it didn't happen, but cool idea, though.
Yeah. Well, the next one is from Multi-King. Watching Eugene and Negan kind of reminds me of the Governor and Milton from season 3.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
I can see that.
I've noticed that. I agree.
Yeah, a couple of milksops, clinging on to a strong man.
Very good observation.
Like the Governor did with Milton, Negan relies on Eugene's smarts, but eventually Eugene will snap out of it and rebel against Negan.
I think he's just doing what he's got to survive right now.
Yeah, luckily no one's having to sleep with Negan. Well, I mean, he's got a lot of people sleeping with him, but no one from the Alexandria camp.
Right.
No Andrea in the mix.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Let's see. The big enchilada. It would be awesome and shocking if Negan kills Eugene or Dwight and sends one over to Rick as a walker wearing Father Gabriel's clothes. I think that's why they showed the fan turn off in Eugene's room. Gabriel probably got overheated, but they're not going to show his fate until the MSF bag comes off, and boom, it's either Eugene or Dwight. Maybe even Daryl or Tara, since they're going to be going after Negan next episode. Man, Daryl's got that fan power. He ain't going nowhere no time soon. Yeah. I think someone was telling me, I don't know how true it is, that Norman Reedus had actually said that he wouldn't mind being done with the show. Like, he loves it and is glad to be a part of it, but that, he wants to do different things. But again, I don't know how true that is.
Yeah.
For real coming in, nah. Tallulah876 says, hi guys, great podcast as usual. Thank you. While I agree that overall The Walking Dead has lost a step, I actually really enjoyed the past 2 episodes, especially episode 4. In my opinion, episode 4 was one of the few times that the cold open, time skipping, and all the other storytelling tricks that the show has usually been excessively really worked. The structure and directing of that episode was great. It could almost be a standalone movie in that a complete story was told in that episode alone, and that's when The Walking Dead is at its best. I agree. E.g. Clear, Season 3, and Here's Not Here in Season 6, etc. Well, that was what a lot of people said they liked most about Season 1 with Frank Darabont directing, was that each episode was kind of its own little mini movie. You know what I mean? Like, they each kind of had their own... And I really did like that, so I really just would love to go visit a parallel universe where Frank Darabont never lost control of The Walking Dead and see how the show's playing out now. But
all right, well, I'm charging my portal gun up now, so hopefully once we're done, we'll jump over there. All right, and next, last but not least, is Savage Rick. Q&A, did Daryl whoop Rick's ass too easily?
Again, Savage Rick. Again, no, he didn't. He just basically, again, it was like a father trying to control their
would you call that an ass whooping?
I don't think that Daryl whooped his ass.
Yeah, I don't think I'd go that far either.
I think that Rick was taking it easy on Daryl because he knows how. I mean, look at the history there, man. I think Daryl is more of a loose cannon, whereas Rick is kind of, settled into his role of a leader. I don't know. Again, that was the whole Thanksgiving Day argument in my house, man. So nobody brought up Trump's name. We just argued about Rick and Daryl the whole time. But I don't know, man. I really feel like if they had to one-on-one, hand-to-hand, I feel like Rick would win. However, I don't think he would win easily. I think it would be a tough fight because Daryl is scrappy, he's resourceful, and just as bit as savage as Rick. I think Rick is just able to think through things a little bit better than Daryl. I mean, i.e., look at why Daryl got imprisoned in the first place, because he let his emotions get the best of him and punched Negan and got Glenn killed. Whereas at least Rick, albeit terrified, knows sometimes when to and not do things. But I don't know. Who do you think? That'd be great. Hey, let's get it going in the comments section. At least everybody give us that, and we'll take a poll next week, and we'll decide the winner off of that poll. Who would win in a throwdown, a straight-up one-on-one brawl to the end? Would it be Rick or would it be Daryl?
Good questions all.
I'm still going with Rick, but there's no wrong answer. It's all it's whatever you think. So leave that in the comments section,
and we would be glad to address it.
Yep. So. What are you going to rate this episode?
Give it like a 7.
A 7?
Yeah.
Wow, that's lower than your norm.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know, man. It was some stuff in there. I was just kind of like, bleh.
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not going to go much higher than that. I was going to give it like a 7.5.
7.5. Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't going to quite go up to the 8 region yet, but I wasn't ready to go down into the 6. You got to get like the Daryl Beth slow episode for me to give it like a true 6. But yeah, so Matt will be back. The gang will be back together next week. Watch, for some reason I'll be out, and then it'll be like, hey, a week without each person. But I think the gang's going to be back together next week. Matt will be back from vacation. You will hopefully be flu-free.
Yes.
And I will be here. So, we'll be off to discuss the second to last episode of this year. Oh, man. Well, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Comment below. We love your comments. I love seeing more and more comments starting to show up on these videos.
Be looking for another comic cast this week.
Oh, yeah. And maybe we mentioned that we got to 500. We've actually, or over 500. So when Matt gets back, we're going to discuss. That was a brilliant trumpet.
Yeah.
Brilliant. We're going to discuss some kind of giveaway. We're going to have something to give you guys to say thank you for getting us up to 500. Now, when we get to 1,000, oh boy.
Yeah.
We're going to party.
Make it rain.
So, once again, I'm Justin.
Yeah, I'm JP.
And thanks for listening.